So continuing on our journey to get ready for Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare, I will now be reviewing Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2. So let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is story. Now, I'm not going to flat out say the story is miles better than the previous story within Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey Part 1, but it is a step in the right direction. Because if you watch these two movies back to back, you'll notice a major story change. Because in the previous one, I did complain about the story, saying it felt really like hollow and wasn't really that well done. But in this movie, I feel it was way better executed and well written, I think. And it is definitely, like I said, a step in the right direction that could potentially lead us to having perfect story for maybe Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare. Of course, I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm seeing it very, very soon. But as of right now, Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 is the best we got right now story-wise, because it is putting that foot in the right direction that will lead us to other installments such as Bambi and the Poohniverse movie itself. I feel the story will definitely be getting better and better within each and every given installment. But this time, like I said, it is a step in the right direction. If they keep going this way, they'll be good, because there's room for improvement with this story, but they do so much right. But the little that they do wrong could easily be fixed up and improved, I definitely think. And over time, I definitely will think that the story will be improved and become better. So now I want to talk about the character of Christopher Robin, played this time by Scott Chambers, who, let me just tell you, is definitely acting-wise the highlight of this movie. Now, obviously, the last guy who played Christopher Robin was very good, but this guy takes it to a whole nother level. He is honestly too good for this movie. He's too good. His acting is too good for this movie. He should be in, like, big Hollywood movies. He's a good actor. He really is. He has a lot of talent and definitely potential that he could be using otherwise. And he was definitely the best thing about this movie, 100%. His line deliveries, his actions, everything he does is just perfectly done by this guy. Scott Chambers is the highlight of this movie, 100%. Christopher Robin is like basically the main character this time around in the movie and is way better portrayed than in the prior movie, definitely. So now I want to talk about what these people do with the budget this time around, because since Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey Part 1 was a success at the box office, they did up the budget for this movie. Instead of $100,000 like it was for the first movie, it was $500,000. So not much different, only a $400,000 difference, but they did everything that they needed to do with that budget. They fixed up the cinematography a little bit, definitely, and the makeup effects are beautiful in this movie, like on Tiger and on Winnie himself. Both are done extremely well. Like, I remember saying when I was reviewing Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey Part 1, I said it just looked like a man in a Halloween mask that looked like a bear that you could buy at Party City. But no, this time around it actually looks like something you'll find in the forest as an animal, you know? It looks very, very realistic. And that goes for all of them, even Piglet. And I had the same problem with Piglet in the previous movie as well. They fix all of that, and I am so happy they did, because man, did they look stupid in that first movie. But in this second movie, they look beautiful. It's all perfectly done, and they finally spent that budget well. So now I want to talk about the character of Winnie the Pooh himself. Now, like I said in my previous little segment in this video about like the special effects, he is beautifully done in this movie, acted, and also the things he does in this movie are disturbing and horrifying, honestly. And the way he just takes down people without remorse or anything is just brutal and badass. And I enjoy every second we get with Winnie. And even when it is time to kill him off, that is also very, very well done. And really, every scene you get with him, you just enjoy it. I cannot say it enough. I absolutely love Winnie the Pooh in this film. Now I want to talk about the horror in this movie. Now the horror is awesome and turned up and dialed to about 1,000 in this movie. The suspense is wild and crazy and very, very well executed, and the gore goes wild with it as well. Like body parts flying here and there, a freaking chainsaw on fire, like it's wild. The horror that is in this movie, it's wild, and I don't think we'll be able to get topped in future installments within this franchise. But yeah, yeah, going into this movie, I wanted the horror to be dialed up to 100, and that is what I got. It dialed to 100 real quick, especially in the club scene. The club scene was brutal as hell, and probably the highlight of this film itself. Now I want to talk about the final battle. Now the final battle is crazy in this movie, of course, between Winnie and Christopher, and their bout in this movie is honestly awesome as hell. And with it ending with him calling Winnie by his real name, Billy, and then killing him with an axe to the head, brutal and awesome. Exactly what I wanted to see in this movie. A satisfying conclusion. But with Winnie now dead, I really do wonder where are they gonna take this. But this brings us to our next part of the video. What is next for the Poohniverse? Now, with Winnie the Pooh himself dead, at least to what we know, because of what we were left off with in Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2, the future is bang. This is horror. Like I said in other videos prior to this, horror never stays down. No matter what horror icon it is, dead or alive, they never go away, you know? And with this universe happening, Winnie the Pooh is definitely not dead permanently. And if he is, well then what a badass and perfect way to end his story. But if it isn't, then I definitely look forward to what he's gonna do in future installments within this universe. But now moving on to my final thoughts. My final thoughts is way better. 9 out of 10 definitely. I enjoyed the hell out of this movie with the awesome blood and gore, the great effects, the great characters, and the acting was really, really well done this time around. And yeah, it's a 9 out of 10 for me, 100%. And I cannot wait to see what the future of this Poohniverse will be. But this has been Mr. Movie. Take care.